I don't see it. All right, folks, welcome to this episode of the Black House Live. I'm your host, Darrell Douglas. Darrell K. Douglas, actually starting a little late today because I think her name is Miss Yvette. Miss Yvette was meeting up with me for a meeting, and she was 30 minutes late. And then we got all this rain, and we got a lot of stuff going on. But it's going to be worth it for you today. Oh, look at that. Look at that. One of our guests is watching us live. Put your phone down, Miss Charlene. We are joined here by a couple of interesting guests. Okay. Over to my right, your left is Dr. James Joseph.
How you doing? How you doing? Good.
Welcome to the Black House.
Well, good to be in the Black House.
Always good to be in the number. So you are running for state representative?
Yes, I'm running for state representative 142.
Absolutely.
Which encompasses Pleasantville, Fifth Ward, Crosby, Texas, Sheridan. You know those areas.
You know, let me cut you off. Let me cut you off a little bit. I never noticed you were so country. Do y'all hear this?
Yeah,
this Southern-esque. Are you laying it on thick because you're running for office?
No.
Make me want to sit on somebody's front porch and sip some sweet tea.
Right. And that's how it is. I guess that's how I grew up, a old country boy in the city, you know. I mean, my roots come from Louisiana, so.
Louisiana.
Bill Platte, Louisiana, that is.
Bill Platte. Yeah. Speaking of Louisiana, two other guests. You want to introduce yourself, good sir?
Ladies first.
Okay.
I'm a Southern gent.
Okay, go ahead.
Good evening. My name is Charlene Jones, and I am a community advocate. I'm a precinct chair, community organizer, anything political.
That didn't go difficult.
Do it again, Miss.
My name is Charlene Jones.
We still not getting there.
My name is Charlene Jones.
No, it's not you, Miss Charlene. Oh, okay. It's something dealing with the equipment. But go ahead, good sir.
Oh, so me now. Oh, okay. My name is Marcus Johnson, born and raised Baton Rouge, Louisiana, transplanted here now to Houston, Texas. Well, Fort Bend County. I hate when people say Houston and make you live like in Fort
there you
Bend
go.
or the Woodlands.
Exactly.
But no, like I said, political consultant. Been doing political work for the past going on 15 years now. So that's just really me.
Absolutely. Good. Are we going to be able to hear Miss Charlene or she's good? Go ahead, Miss Charlene.
Good evening. Thank you.
Okay.
My name is Charlene Jones, and I'm a precinct chair in 136, which is in 3rd Ward. I'm a community advocate, community organizer, anything civic or community engaged, I'm pretty much going to be part of it.
Absolutely. Well, thank y'all for being here today. James Joseph, let's start off with you.
Yeah.
You're running for office. You're running against a very, very popular incumbent, Harold Dutton. How are you going to win this race? You have a primary that's coming up in March, so you have roughly, 5 months?
Yeah,
away?
6 months. 6 months away. 6 months.
And so, how does someone decide to run for office?
Well, first of all, working in the community, for the people, from the community, working for the community, each and every day. And you strive to do something better and make this world just a little bit better than you left it,
Okay.
But, I mean, better than you found it, that is.
Okay.
Like you said, I'm running against a very popular incumbent, but, popularity doesn't always mean it's a good thing. Popularity is just popularity on one end or the other. You can be popular, but in a bad way, as well as being popular in the good way. And that's why I'm running for office, because popularity is not what we need in office.
There you go.
We need somebody who's not looking for a position, but who's looking for the work.
There you go.
And who's been doing the work and who's been active in the community. You sent me a picture a couple of days, weeks ago.
I did. I can pull it up.
And I looked at it myself. I said, "Oh boy, you ain't got no hair on your face, no hair on your head.
Yeah.
You clean shaved." So I've been in it for a minute. I'm not new to it. At all. I just want to continue moving forward and working for our people, because the incumbent, I know him very well. You know, he just turned 80 years old.
Wow.
You know, and he's been in office for
Term
over.
limits in age.
Yeah,
he's
he's been in office for over
Now
40 years.
he's 80, but y'all be
Yeah.
honest. Now I'm not even if I was voting, I wouldn't vote for Harold, but you gotta say Harold
Yeah.
look good for 80. He,
He
don't
does,
look
he
80.
does.
We
Black
in the black
don't
house,
crack.
you know we
Well,
don't crack.
Yeah,
right,
it don't
yeah.
it don't crack.
You know, and that's looks, you know.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I can tell you now, I don't live far from him. We both live in the Fifth Ward community.
Okay.
And we both still cut our own grass.
There you go.
know, but the mind goes, you know, the millennials and the new things that's happening these days, you know, is a totally different mindset
Yeah,
than
it's true.
1964.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
we fighting for all people, not just a certain sect of people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, Marcus, you are a political consultant. What do you think about all these races right now? We got at-large 4, we got CD 18, we got a county judge race in Harris County. Well, you're not in Harris County, so you can't talk about that. But the other two, we'll let you talk about.
I mean, for me, like I said, I go all around. Like I said, when I've done my job at the state party, I had 8 counties, so I can speak a little bit. Now, what I said, the county judge is going to be different when now that Ms. Hidalgo is gone now. She's not running for re-election, so it's going to make the field open wide. Like, I don't know what's going to happen on the Democrats. I haven't heard anybody that might be running up. Now, granted, on the other side, we already got Ms. Crap, I forgot the name of who's running.
It's not a good sign there, Marcus. It's not really a good sign.
I was saying already.
I mean, if you're
Yeah.
woo.
But,
Let me help you out. Marty
people in the
Langton.
run.
Come on,
Yeah.
Marty Langton.
Okay.
You know, fireman. Come on.
But, you know, it's like, hey,
Yeah.
we all know Judge Hidalgo got in because of that blue wave at first.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
straight
Right,
ticket, and
right,
then
we know that.
She
the other
did.
time.
You know, I regret not putting my name on there. If anybody in this room would have put our name on there, we would have been county
know.
judge right now.
That's
Probably
what I
Probably
heard.
would have been handling it a little better.
'Cause I got into Texas right when she won after that blue wave, and everybody telling me how
Oh,
she really
my
won. And
gosh.
as you see, as the
Yeah.
years gone on,
I'm
it's
gonna
like,
tell you.
oh,
I'm gonna tell you. Lord bless her soul. Sheila Jackson Lee. If y'all remember,
Amen.
on the night of that race, all the Democrats were at some one event, and so everybody was on stage like as the things came in, and you know, Judge Hidalgo had that, you know, that standard deer in the headlights look.
Kind of same look she have right now.
Same dude. I don't know. It's like, man, you know what I mean? I ain't gonna lie. You know, I talk all this stuff about wanting younger people, but I'm gonna be honest.
Oh, man.
When we have a natural disaster,
Yeah.
I want somebody with some gray in their beard
With some
or some
experience.
gray in their
Yeah.
temple to look in the camera and say,
Yeah.
"This is not our first rodeo.
Exactly.
We got boats, we got trucks, we got
Right.
this, we got that. 59 North, blah 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 blah. We gonna be all right."
We're
And
not
I was
trying
like,
to figure it out.
"Ooh," you know, I
Yeah.
feel comfortable. But with Lena, it was like, and that's just not good.
That's not
just
good.
not
That's
good. So I'm just
and
glad.
that's what said we need leadership with experience.
Leadership with
and
experience. We do.
wisdom as well.
Wisdom.
You know, that
Yes.
goes a
yeah,
long
but we
way.
want an age limit when it comes to that wisdom. Because
I
some
wouldn't
people,
even-
because some people get long in the tooth in office, and
No,
you know,
I don't even think it's age necessarily. I think it's length of time in service.
I mean, it's both.
I'll take a new 70-year-old who haven't been, you know, shucking and jiving
Yeah.
and tap dancing.
Indoctrinated in the
Yeah,
system.
that's what I'm saying. I get
Yeah,
tired of it. I'm
yeah,
exhausted.
yeah, yeah.
You know
But
what I
when
mean?
your health starts failing you, I think it's time to step aside.
It is. Yes, Miss Shirley, exactly.
That's true.
And I'll say this. You should be the one. You ain't got to tell everybody your business.
Right.
But go ahead and say, this is going to be my last session. Thank you. You know, blah, blah, blah. We'll throw you a big party. You go out with a bang.
Well, some of them say that all the time, but they don't fall through.
That is true.
You
that's
know,
the thing to
because
say.
it's not only the health, it's the mental state of mind.
Absolutely.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, you say one thing one day and you forget what you said.
Brain freeze.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Now, right. Now you're shucking and jiving and
Absolutely.
and have to
Throwing
make
smoke
deals with other
screens.
people.
Yeah,
right.
Right. And then they sort of switch sides. They go from being for the people to being too used to going to these galas and these fancy things and these
you
trips.
become a country club.
It becomes
Right,
a country
exactly.
club.
And they
Absolutely.
get used to it and that lavish lifestyle,
Yeah.
you know, the king syndrome, and then you don't
Power.
want to get rid of it. You know,
can't tell,
Power.
can't tell them anything.
Yeah. You know,
Power
I'm gonna
corrupts
say this
all.
here though. Alma Allen, I congratulate her.
Yes.
That she decided to step down.
Yes.
You know, and not die in the seat. You know, she still has her mind together. You
Absolutely.
know, and want to see some other people move forward. You know,
Absolutely.
And those people could, you know, become great advisors. or
Men-
consultants to
mentor the
right,
people
right.
that they are trying to get into space.
Exactly, and especially before they leave, this earth, because they leaving with a lot of knowledge, and know-how. When we have, like you said, Linda Hidalgo, she was 27 when she got in office, and no one to mentor her as she came through. And the mental state, that's shocking and devastating when you got millions of people going through a flood, and you have no clue or no idea. And not only that, you not been working there so long, you don't even have a team
Right.
of resources to
Right.
work with.
Right.
Yeah.
You haven't built that camaraderie of people who you can pick up that phone and call. You're still young. Everybody questioning you.
Not only questioning,
Yeah.
and I would say it's not just her youth, because I think we have a lot of young people that are actually performing well. I think I will say she did not perform well. Like, it is not leadership to have temper tantrums in public. You have your temper tantrums in the back. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Sheila Jackson Lee had many temper tantrums. You never saw it publicly. She was going to give you because she knew she represented people,
Yes.
and that we were dependent on that, and that is what she had to do. Y'all can click share, and you'll see it if you want to go on your phone and share it directly to
Okay.
your
I already did.
live stream. And we're gonna hop right in. Apparently, Mark White is running for governor. Put it right here, please. Mark White, his dad was a former governor of Texas. He's running as a Democrat. He
Okay.
is running in the March 2026 primary. He's going to take on Governor Abbott, who is now entering his umpteenth term.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah,
Turn
that's
them.
another one.
And I just say, wow. Yeah, there's Mark White. Can we make us big and put him like in the corner, like they do on Fox 26?
Yeah, exactly.
Like
Do
put
the
it like
other
right,
way
like over
around,
here,
and
or over there somewhere.
Make it
Yeah,
small.
that'll make it look good. And so, what do you think about it? Mark White is running for governor. Is Texas ready to have a Democratic governor? Yes or no? What say you? I'll go first and say, I don't know. I just think it's going to take something specific to excite people. I don't know much about him. I would like to know more about him, but he's going to have to come with more than what people have tossed out before. This Trump bad. It doesn't
Right.
work anymore.
Yeah.
It's
It's
not
not
sticking.
working. It
It's
didn't
not
work.
working. You got to have ideas. What are your plans? What do you want to do? And the same thing works at the statewide level. It can't just be Abbott
Exactly.
bad. TEA bad.
Paxton
Right.
bad.
Paxton
Lord.
is bad. Now, Paxton, now,
I'm
you
just
got some
saying.
explaining to do. Because let me tell you something. For Ken Paxton, you know what I mean? If done is
man.
Teflon done, then Ken Paxton,
Yeah.
damn.
Yeah, he's
What
another
does
one.
he have to do to lose support?
Isn't he running for Senate?
He's running for
He's running
Senate.
for
Against,
Senate now.
Cornyn.
Yeah.
Cornyn.
Yeah, he's finna get a promotion. You know
Right,
why? Because
right.
here's the thing. Here's what's sad about politics. Cornyn is not Cruz, right?
True.
Cornyn probably, I think, number 4 in the Senate, right?
Right.
He's in leadership,
Yeah.
but he's not a shiny coin right now. And Ken Paxton is probably about to bump him out of the way. What say you?
Well, but they also have another in that race that he hasn't got in yet, but it's the rumblings of Congressman Wesley Hunt. He might jump in that race also.
You think Wesley Hunt gonna jump in there?
Well,
I mean,
he's advertising.
We've
He's got
been having
commercials.
rumblings on that for a year and a half.
Well, we had
year.
a certain CD18 candidate that kept saying that he was going to run. I'm not going to say his name.
Yeah,
I'm not going to say his
yeah.
name. But he kept saying that he was going to run. And he would even tell people in private that, like, I'm running. I'm
Right.
filing on Monday.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And if that nigga ran, I ran. Okay?
Stop.
Spill the
Darrell.
tea, as they
Stop
say.
it.
Spill it.
Right.
And so, but here's the problem with that. Here's the problem that comes with that. Because some people who were actually considering supporting you ain't even going to answer your phone calls now. They're not going to answer your phone calls now. And at the end of the day, you got to either, how my grandma used to say, piss or get off the pot.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
are you running or are you not? That is what some of these people are going to have to say. So Wesley Hunt, I mean, I don't know. He is a Republican. Well, so that's good. Republicans are winning in Texas. I mean, whether you like it or not, it's the truth.
It's the South.
Yeah, but could he win that seat though?
But he's one of them.
What mean you
Well-
say? What you mean when you say
When
one of them?
He's black.
Oh, did not notice.
Yeah, he's black. So is because here's the thing. Here's the thing. is Texas statewide ready for, and this question was also asked of Kamala Harris running for president. Is America ready for a woman? Is America ready for a black woman? Now, this is not my personal opinion. Is America ready? And the thing is, Wesley Hunt, I mean, yes, he's won his district. Is he known statewide? And are all parts of Texas, going to vote for a black elected official? I think that is some of the things that we have to work towards getting towards.
Yeah. We've gotten closer, but with him, I don't think he's there yet. I don't think he's there yet with, like you said, popularity for one, and then how red state we are for two. That's going to be a tough race for him.
Yes.
That's going to be a really tough race.
Y'all put it in the comments. What do you think, Mark White? If not Mark White, who should be running for governor of Texas? Last
Beto.
words? Beto. You think Beto should run?
I think Beto.
Beto.
I
Beto
just
should
wish
run?
he
Okay.
would throw his hat in somewhere. I think he would have a better chance. I don't
You
know.
want Beto to waste some more money again running in this? I got a good Beto story too, but I got a
Give
good
us the
Francis
Beto
story.
story.
I really do.
Give it to us. Give it to
So
us.
I was running when I first started here in Texas. I worked for the state party, and there was a race, Gary Gates' seat,
Okay.
and had during that time he was running. The Democrat was Miss Mounskowitz. She was a school teacher out there, and it was the big guns. I'm out there. I'm with my executive director, former director James Dickey, and Beto's out there. He's helping her run, campaigning hard. Yeah, hey, and I come over there. Because I'm petty. I know what I'm doing. So I go in, just want to meet the man, hey, how you doing? He come up there, hey, let me shake your hand. How you doing, sir? Hey, man, let's take a picture. I'm like, so you assume I'm one of you, right?
Ooh, yeah.
And I got it on camera, too. And the look on his face was, because I was like, my boss is right there.
Yeah.
Remember that M&M's commercial with Santa Claus? They do exist. They do exist.
And I do that all the
I
time
know
to
he
let
was
fit. I
shocked,
done it to
yeah.
Sheila. I done it to so
What did
many
you do,
people.
Marcus? What did you say you're doing? What do you do? You go right to him and they
I
come
just
up to
go
you?
right up to them and they just gonna assume, and it's like, all right, I'm gonna let you make an ass of yourself by
Yeah.
assuming.
Yeah.
Wow.
I had the same thing happen to me on the campus at TSU at that fact. Yeah.
What happened?
Same thing. Run up to you thinking that you one of them. You know, no, I ain't who you think I am.
Yeah.
I'm from the people for the people.
There you go.
You
I
know,
had it on camera too. That was so like
yeah,
good old
yeah,
Francis.
yeah.
Hey Francis. Yeah.
Francis
it was-
Beto O'Rourke. I don't know. I think he is probably one of the ones that probably could win statewide. I just think it's probably, I don't even think it's him. It's probably his wife and his family that are like, look, we're not doing this ish no more. We're not doing this no more. Like, no.
I think he gets to a point and then he tops off at a certain
Who,
level.
Beto?
Yeah.
You know what
yeah,
killed
I
him?
think so.
He had a
can't-
shot at beating
Abbott.
Oh, Abbott.
He had a shot. You know what killed him?
was
And
it?
I knew what he was going to do it. Because that was the Uvalde shooting. And I was like, please do not come in and try to politicize. Don't do it yet.
exactly.
It's fresh. It's brand new. They just had the press conference.
He went
and
in
he
the
came
auditorium
in
and went
and
to the
that, I was like,
front.
you lost
Yeah,
right there.
that was
They
it.
yelled
That
and
was it.
screamed
You
at him.
lost right there.
Yeah.
Screamed him down, shouted him down.
Like I said, as a consultant, you don't
Can't do that.
You-
Speaking of
No, I don't
consultants,
think Mark White gonna win.
Speaking of consultants, some consultants over at the Christian Menifee campaign are either going to look back at this latest ad and say, this is the one that won it for us, or, we probably shouldn't have went that way. For those of y'all that don't know, Christian Menifee put out the very first big ad, and I'm not talking about Jolanda and Amanda's Facebook ads. I'm talking about a real TV ad that is up. He did it in the form of sort of like reminiscent of Cribs. Y'all remember MTV Cribs? Where they would show and all this stuff. And so he did that. He did a nice tour of his beautiful townhome, I might add. I mean, not a thing out of place. And he's got 2 young kids.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they got a nanny. I don't know if he and his wife do, share the keeping the house clean. But that house, beautiful,
Big,
stunning,
nice house.
big, beautiful home. I know he lived in a townhouse, but I didn't know it should look like that.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa!
could've spent
Now
some money on
we're
the
up
roof.
in the big leagues. Get out, turn it back.
Yeah.
District County money making good.
Yeah. As long as we
Making a lot
live,
of good
you
money in the
live.
county, huh?
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Moving on up. So is he moving on up from county attorney to congressman? What say you, Miss Charlene Jones? What do you think about that ad?
I liked it. I mean, it was something different and fresh. But Marcus had a comment earlier when we were talking about it, and it kind of made me pause. But I like the ad. I knew Christian when I first moved over to Third Ward.
Okay.
And I was a precinct chair, and he was, DA, very friendly, and I like him as a person. I think that he does a good job, and I think that he will do a good job if elected in that position as well, along with a few other people that I think are just as qualified.
There you go. I knew
I
you was
had
gonna
to
clean
put
it up
that.
at the
I had
end.
to clean that up.
Yeah, she's an experienced.
I had to clean
she's
that
a
up.
community
Official to a
advocate.
point. Yeah. Precinct chair.
Yeah.
Dr.
I mean, it's
Joseph.
many good candidates in the race, but speaking of the commercial, though, like you said earlier, it could go either way. Mm-hmm. It could go either way. So, but the average voter in the 18th congressional district is a 62-year-old black lady. Wow. So, does it speak to that voter? That's the average voter.
That is true.
And those are not my numbers and not my
There
makeup.
you go. There you go.
But when it comes to the new voters, which I think who are engaging, does
be
that
honest?
get them out?
Can we
to
be
the
honest?
vote?
That route. Okay.
Can we be honest? Because here's the thing.
Well,
Here's the thing. And I'm just now getting to the age. I turned 39 over the weekend.
Okay.
I'm just now
Happy
getting to the
birthday,
age.
belated.
Welcome to
Thank
the
you.
club.
Yeah.
I'm just now getting to the age where when I'm in a room and they talk about the youth, they don't look at me no more. Like it's just now happening.
Don't you hate
see?
that?
Right. I just
Yeah,
no. I'm kind.
yeah.
I'm leaning
Right.
in. I'm leaning in.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I
I
will
understand.
say, at the end of the day, and you're a campaign consultant. Here's the thing. At the end of the day, the candidates and the campaigns are going after the voters. So yes, while we should increase the youth vote and we should do all that we can, at the end of the day, campaigns, if they're smart, are going for voters. And go ahead.
And I can tell you that because I'm not I do a little consulting too, but I've ran a couple races a few times, and you see the mistakes that you make in the race and who you should be targeting and who you shouldn't be targeting, who you're wasting your time on.
Absolutely.
And I had to tell my team the other day, new voters hadn't won a race. New voters hadn't won a race in over 50 years.
New voters are mayonnaise on your sandwich. Okay,
And it's not the meat.
It's not the meat. It's not the bread. It's not the right. So like at the end of the day, until these voters start turning out more regularly, a lot of the issues will continue to get pushed.
Now, I'm gonna say there's a lot of new issues that's on the forefront for youth, so that may get them out the vote.
I think, or it could actually backfire, because if you look at it, things like student loan debt, things like this generation having it being the first generation to have it worse than those that came before them. They're not able to buy homes. They're graduating with all this student loan debt, and then these jobs, like you have automation and AI and all these things that are like taking it away. So it's like that actually could backfire. And I've actually, we had some interns this last election cycle, and they were all mostly TSU students. And we were having pizza after an event one day, and Adonis, who works with us sometimes, had asked them something about like, are they going to vote, or why is voting important or something? And they just kind of said like, well, it doesn't matter and this and that. And he was kind of like trying to challenge him with that, people died. And I mean, I get that.
That doesn't work.
But that doesn't work.
That doesn't work.
Because
not
for
the younger voters.
This guy, he explained he is a student at actually this one, he had graduated from TSU. This was his year out. He's working at a warehouse part-time, 30 hours a week. And he just laid it all out. And I was like, damn, I don't have an answer for you.
Yeah. I mean, and it's hard.
It's hard out here for a pimp.
And I just yesterday, I'm gonna say this, just receiving an endorsement from the Texas high school Dems.
Okay.
So and what I spoke to them about is listening to the youth.
Yes.
And not only that, implementing their ideas and things and putting them to work.
Yeah.
A lot of times we don't put them to work. We don't listen to, because my daughter's 15 years old.
Wow.
I learn stuff from her every single day.
Wow.
Especially when it comes to technology.
Yeah.
Yes,
and I'm trying to put an
have
app on my phone. I just hand it to her.
got it.
Look, when I'm driving the GPS, I just hand her the phone. She know what I want.
And she got it.
And
Exactly.
it's just new different things, you know. And when it comes to LGBTQ and a lot of other issues that's on the forefront, you know, it's just we have to look at things a little differently now.
Than you did before.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
definitely.
Can I go back to that Menifee ad? Like I said,
Yeah.
the consultant had in mind. As we talked
Yes.
offline about
Yes,
this.
yes.
And I had a different take on it because I put it on the Facebook page when you posted it. And I got one of the most likes on it because my take was great ad. Like I said, I'm 39. I know MTV Cribs. Great ad for the elder millennials that we'll call now. I hate this use the word elder now. But how it was shot, as I was speaking to everybody, it's still kind of tone deaf almost to the point because he looks like he's living a lavish life. And the district he's running in, a lot of people don't live that lifestyle.
Yeah.
And I had to say it, Democrats say they don't like rich people, but you coming off as rich. So now you...
It's pushing back. I actually got I got some phone calls. A couple of people called that I talked to last night. They were like, I don't know about that ad. And, you know, as a member of the Fish Don't Fry in the Kitchen Club, I'll say, like, I didn't see it that way at first, but then when I was like, oh, like, I didn't think of that. Yeah. Maybe he should have done, somebody told me he should have done it at his Meemaw's house in the backyard.
Exactly.
Taking the barbecue outside, playing dominoes with the uncle.
Or you could do it as an inspirational of saying, hey, I came from this, and I worked hard to get to this route.
Right. I would just say, if you're running for office, people don't get to, you know, I got to watch, you know, you really do have to watch what you display, even if you don't think that it's something, people will look at you a different way based on their assumptions.
And you know what? I'm gonna take it one step further. I ain't even want to get into this nothing national.
Yeah.
So, got President Trump in office. Everybody know he's a billionaire. We all know him from the '80s. Billionaire. Right. When he ran, he never comes off as saying, "I got money."
No,
you'll never hear him say, "I'm billionaire Donald Trump." He just regular man. Oh, you messing up? The groceries are high. Jobs are low. He talked like that's why in the end they say he won. That's how he ran because he talked as like an average person. You know he's a billionaire. Everybody knows that, but he never showed his money.
No. And
so in this ad, he kind of showing his money. So
he's showing his money.
Brothers on the block, they ain't got that.
But what Menifee didn't show was him out with the people in the community.
That's what I'm
Even
saying.
Trump showed. You know, he was with
that
the
part.
people
in
the community. No matter what they were fighting for, he was always with the people. You know, hand out some groceries. You know,
throwing diapers.
You know, right? Then kiss some babies.
Yeah.
But, you know,
so that ad works for the moving on up crowd. So he's stunting on them. Don't get me wrong, but
when you said the average voter in this district is a 62-year-old Black woman, then you have to think about that. How do they see? I got to think. My mom telling me, "Why you gotta wear? Don't do that.
You save your money.
Got them goals in that baby mouth."
Exactly.
You know, right?
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
I don't.
Did you need the fly townhouse, or could you just get a modest regular home?
I'll say I knew where he lived. I didn't know them townhouses was that big inside. I didn't know they was. I didn't know they was that nice.
Because I'm in a townhouse now. I don't look that nice.
The winding staircase. All right, Mr.
You making
Menifee.
that kind of money? He's making.
There you go.
Know,
but like I said, I would have used it as showed like so you at me in my house back in the district, brothers on the block hustling, trying to get there and say, hey, I worked hard, public education, I became a lawyer, and then I
working your way on up to that point, not starting.
But just don't show off like blinking on. Hey, I got them.
Yeah.
And then the whole I'm working out because that's the new Democrat strategy. Let me show get male vote by showing masculinity.
I will say that, but here's the thing: Christians in shape.
I get that.
I don't know if they get his shirts fitted, but nobody else's campaign shirts be like, with the V cut, with the muscle cut. Like Christian works out. I think his parents are like one of his dad or his mom were military. Like no, he's actually,
like Wesley Hunt. Like
Wesley Hunt.
He'll wear the tightest thing in the world.
There you go.
They
And listen,
they wasn't shirts, that's what it is.
Listen, I started meal prepping, and if I get it like that, y'all gonna see me in here.
I work out 6 days a week. I can bench 225. I'm gonna let you right now.
There you go. Exactly. And speaking of money, Harris County District Clerk Marilyn Burgess lost her goddamn mind. She want $80,000 raise. She was already making $180,000, and she said hit me. Give me another one. I want 80,000 more. She's on the actual committee, the grievance committee that considers these things. So she put up the grievance on this side of the podium, and then she went and sat in her seat and voted for it. She actually wanted $295,000, and they said, no, we ain't giving you $295,000, we'll get $260,000. So she's got a $260,000 salary. She then announced a couple of days later that she is not running for re-election. So then that's got me thinking. Y'all, my mom just retired in December. Do they take like the last quarter or the last year and they multiply or whatever? Is that what she's trying to do? Either way it goes, it's absolutely absurd. What say you, Dr. Joseph?
Man, she's trying to get a raise because now Fort Bend County they gave the police officers a raise. Houston they gave their officers a raise. Yeah. Everybody getting a raise, so why not me? Yeah, so I might as well ask for more money too.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Everybody's trying to get on that bandwagon, but it's only so much money to go around.
And and then I look at it like this. Y'all, mark my words. 2026 is going to be a very, very hard year for the Democratic Party. Yes. It is a midterm year. And then you got Lena Hidalgo that's leaving. She's been acting a fool for the past 6 months or so. You got, they fighting on commissioner's court. They fighting here. They fighting everywhere. The quorum thing just happened. They left for 2 weeks. And they came back and said, I changed my mind, blah, blah, blah. Well, what you leave for? Why did you stay here? Why are we wasting all this money? And now you got them doing this. So it's just like, how bad do we want to lose?
The president only makes $400,000 a year.
The president makes less than the chief of staff. Of one of the county commissioners.
Well, I think this president don't even receive a salary.
He doesn't. He sends it back. He sends it back. Yeah. And I think that is a noble thing, but there's a lot of other shit that he needs to work on.
Well, I'm sure he writes it off.
Yeah. But at least, hey, once again, a chief of staff is making that in this county.
There you go. And
that's how much money this county got.
Actually, he makes about $405,000.
See, that's what us consultants want. We want to get a running race win and be like, can I get a job?
That's what I'm saying, man.
Exactly.
But they're laying off, I know one in particular, 5 ladies in Precinct 1, they're laying off.
Black women.
Yeah.
I just find it just so interesting that there's 5 black women being fired from one of the, like the black commissioner's office, and the chief of staff make $405,000. Now, here's the thing. People have reached out and said, well, the size of the county and blah, blah, blah. I don't care.
Oh,
under no circumstances should a public, now, unless.
$400,000.
Let me tell you where $400,000 makes sense. If you are a doctor that works for the Harris County Medical Examiner's Office, then yes, I get that. If you are the executive director of the such and such department, if you are a chief engineer, no staffer that works for a county commissioner should make that kind of money.
I ran a race in Fort Bend County. I was running a commissioner's race, and I was looking like, hey, staff jobs. So they told me the chief of staff will make $100,000. And Fort Bend County, one of the richest counties in Texas. $100,000 would be like top for a chief of staff. And it's like, okay, that's not bad.
Yeah, it's a race to the top, and what it is, there's this big pot of money. They're getting to control this money, and they're like, well, I could take a little more. Can I take this a little more? Like, look at incrementally what it actually means. But I will say this: you do have elected officials. I'll say our justices of the peace. I think they should make a little more money. I think they should.
What do they make? I'm not sure what
they're in the hundreds, but I think like
something.
100 and something. But I mean, you have staffers that are making way more than that, and these are elected officials. I'll also say this: a lot of this, and I'm going to get a whole lot of bring it on. Okay,
yes, you are.
Listen. I used to be a correctional officer. Okay, I put on a gray uniform every day, and I pledged to protect the public and provide public safety. I was a first responder. When Hurricane Rita came, y'all went that way, I went that way, right? Like, we ran towards the problem, okay? I think that our Houston police and our Harris County deputies are underpaid. They were starting down in the 50s, and they have a gun on their hip, and they are expected to provide public safety, right? I do think we should have raised that. And at the same time, I think we have people that are at the top that are taking away way more. Now, do I think that they should have done that raise in one fell swoop and it was $100 million? No, it should have been incrementally done. But at the same time, we got to do something different.
Yeah.
I was a staffer I used to work for the United States Senate in Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
I was a staffer. I wasn't making no 6 digits.
There you go. There you go.
I'm the entire state. That's
There
not
you go.
one county. Entire
Yeah.
state. I worked for this man.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So
I was not making that. Now maybe his DC people,
we got it.
but
Yeah.
you're in DC. Like
Well, and then
But-
you have to account for it. But I do think that we have to get back to basics, like the county government. And oh man, y'all really finna get me in trouble. Let me tell you something. County government,
Let's go.
city government are to provide basic functions. Make sure you have clean water. Make sure that your roads are good. Make sure that
Right.
you have police. Make sure that the trash is done. All this extra stuff.
fire department.
All this extra stuff, if it is not data driven, it is not proving to make a difference, it shouldn't exist. We can't do this feel good stuff. And just, people just
You
as
really
it's
shouldn't
all
get rich in
wrong.
politics.
Yeah.
Period.
You shouldn't.
And it's at the
Absolutely shouldn't.
taxpayer's expense.
It's
you
a
know?
taxpayer
And-
dollar.
But the
now-
$100 million for the police department, they're going. I've been down there 3 or 4 times speaking about the
Yes.
budget cuts.
Yes.
And the problem I have is it's going to cut senior things that the seniors have access to,
Yeah.
and children. That's why Judge Lena Hidalgo brought all them kids there, and the people was upset. I don't know if you've seen it. Yeah,
I saw it.
I done been
Yeah,
on
yeah,
there
we all saw
3
that.
or 4 times. I've
We saw that.
testified.
saw
Here's the
that.
thing. Let me say this about Lena bringing the kid.
That exploitation.
Let me tell you this. There's a way to artfully do that.
Yes.
The way she should have done that, she should have held her composure. And then after everything was over, she should have done media availability. She should have said, kids, gather around.
Right.
Let me explain to you what just happened. Let me explain to you the travesty that my colleagues just did. Point 1, point 2, point 3. Do you like going to your after school program? What is your name? Come here, young man. Right? That's the way you do that. And then you say, media, any questions? But instead, she acted a fool. And then it's just like, now we're distracted. Now I don't know what's important. and
So a
what's
whole
not.
fit got them kids out there like as if they selling candy on the highway. Like, can you help my basketball
And
team?
y'all mark my words, because she says she's not running again, so she don't have a race to prepare for. She finna act a fool. Lena finna dog. I'm gonna start setting my alarm. I gotta start catching Commissioner's Court, because Lena Hidalgo, I don't know if y'all have seen her lately on Instagram Live. She
saw
comes
that the
on,
other day.
and it looked like, I don't know, did she be crying or whatever
know.
right before she go live? Could
She's-
somebody go
she's-
get her phone?
she's
Could
about
somebody
to
go get her
expose
phone?
a lot.
She's
Yeah.
about to expose a lot.
She's about to.
She's
You
about to
can see
expose
it
a
in
lot.
her
Oh,
eyes.
exactly.
Yeah.
She's like, okay, well, if I gotta
tea
go
about to
down,
be hot.
if
Yeah.
I gotta go down,
I'm taking all of y'all.
Taking somebody
yeah,
with me.
then I'm taking a few people with me.
I mean, I understand. Like I said, I know some stuff myself about some things. I can
There you
write a
go.
book.
That's what I'm saying. But you can't write the book, because then you'll end up in the bayou, and that's what we're gonna talk about next.
Oh,
Serial
wow.
killers in the bayou. Who's down here taking all these bodies down there now? We did see a press conference earlier today where the chief of police, the guy that they got from Katie, because
Right.
Whitmire went and got whatever.
Yeah.
Hear ye, whatever.
Noe
and
Diaz.
yeah, Noe Diaz, and Noe's like, look, chill out. The mayor, hey, it's all good. No, sir, we live in Gotham City. We live in Gotham City. We all know it. We all know we're in Gotham City.
That's it.
And there's a new thing that they do. Not only they carjacking, they hitting licks, and now they taking bodies to the bayou.
To
What
the
say
bayou,
you,
they
Miss
dropping
Charlene?
off.
I say that maybe there is some kind of serial killer going on, dropping bodies in different places, because we're surrounded by bayous, first of all. So it could easily be something like a serial killer type deal going on. I don't know if all the nationality of the people that, except for the lady from University of Houston that was found over here around the corner from where I live, literally. And,
Yeah.
and that's disheartening to know that. And so I don't know. It's the mayor say it's not, and the chief of police, but 4 bodies,
I mean, it's their job to calm the public down.
Yeah.
So, we got to, they're investigating in the back. But like, to the public, hey, there's nothing to worry about.
Everything's fine.
Still come to Harris County,
Nothing
still
to
come to
see here.
Houston.
Nothing to see
Everything's
here.
good. Dexter is not
Yeah.
running back here killing folk and
Absolutely.
burying them in.
No,
This is literally Dexter. If you watch the TV show Dexter, this is Dexter.
it is literally that.
He has the
I
he
didn't know
he
Dexter.
kills
I'm gonna
them.
have to check
He
that
kills.
out.
He's a serial killer. He uses it to appease himself, like keep really stop from killing people. But he kills bad people. He'd like to kill bad people, but he dumps them. He dumped them in the river. This was in Florida, so he just dumped them in the rivers out there, and nobody knew because he actually worked for the police department too. That's a whole.
So
nother
then
thing.
he would know that they not. Let me tell you, this is
Right.
when I actually, like, I've had a place broken into. My brother had a car stolen. Miss Tina was actually carjacked at gunpoint. And I had another friend that had her car stolen. All of them were Hyundai Elantras, by the way. That was the Kia boys in that whole situation. But
That's the
another,
Kia boys,
That's
right.
another. That's a whole different thing.
That was my
But-
after my neighbor.
That was right. But I will say this: it's only when you get in a situation like that and you like call the police. Oh wait, and you call the police, and then they're like, "Yeah, we'll take a number," and you're like, "Well, wait a minute." Okay, but somebody just take a number. They actually drove around and found Miss Tina's car, and they were like, "We found it. We're right outside of Savoy on Emancipation.
Yeah.
Come get these niggas." And the police,
Stop it. You got all kinds of people watching this. You better, okay.
You got to call it what it is.
Yeah, really.
and the police were like,
Oh.
"Thank you. Please leave a message after the tone." And it's like until you're in that situation and you like, oh, they really don't have the resources. Like I had an incident last year where I had to go down to the substation. And you hit the button and you waiting for somebody to come up. It's like, man, it is really not as stacked as it should be.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
But
be right
for a
there to
city
give you a
this
ticket,
large, we definitely don't have enough police officers.
Yeah, yeah.
We such a large police. Chicago got more police officers than we do.
That's
They do?
Gotham City, man.
Oh, yeah.
It's Gotham City, Chirac. I think
Gotham
they call it.
City.
They need that, man.
Chirac.
And
Correct.
and I'm block walking already on my campaign, and
yeah.
I'm talking to people about the crime,
Yeah.
and that's one thing they want to see is more police presence on
Absolutely.
the street, which we just don't have, you know.
don't.
And not only that, like you said earlier, the pay,
Yes, the pay.
competition going everywhere
Absolutely.
else. The police officers don't want to work,
Yeah.
in the city. They rather go to the
They can go and
county.
do something else. And I mean, it is the same story that we're going to see over and over and over again. We
Yep.
just saw this mass exodus of people that were dealing with HISD, right?
Right.
And then they just like,
Yeah.
go somewhere else. And
Yeah,
so, like,
exactly.
literally, you had the city finally jumping up their rate. Everybody that worked for the county was going to go and work for the city, and the
Yeah.
county wasn't going to have anybody. And so it does kind of become this race to the top.
It does.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Speaking of the race to the top, very interesting story. And this is historic for Texas, by the way. The hotel workers, they're members of Unite Here, that are down at the Hilton Americas Hotel. That is one of two Houston union hotels. So I've worked for labor unions, and they're very, very picky. So when you
Yeah.
work for a labor union and you're traveling, you must rent a union. You must rent
Hotel.
an American car, and you must stay at a union hotel. And that's really difficult sometimes when you go in places like Jackson, Mississippi,
Right.
because it's just like, hey, this is what it is. But they're fighting for $23 an hour, and they are still on strike. So what say you when it comes to this strike? And I'm really curious to know what you think, Marcus, because, we're in a right-to-work state. I've seen the way it works in non-right-to-work states. So, like, I've lived in Washington State and in Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Michigan is right-to-work now. So, Washington State, there you go, where everybody had to be a member of the union. And I actually worked for a union. And I actually got to see what that power looks like in practice. I will say there are pros to it, of course, because you are building power and the workers are actually making a decision. But I also saw where some people at the top of said unions were able to actually flex more with the relationships, and the people at the bottom were just paying the dues. Not to say that they were taking advantage, but it was just not equally distributed. So what say you?
I mean, we're still looking for Jimmy Hoffa as we speaking now.
He's in the Bayou.
We'll never find him.
He's another
We'll never
He's in
find
the
him.
Bayou.
Yeah.
But no, like I said, being in the union, like I said, workers need to get paid. I mean, that's the great thing about unions. Don't get me wrong. You get a fair share of your pay for what you are doing. It's kind of like with plumbers. Like, no matter what, you're going to get paid this amount.
Absolutely.
But, like I said, I mean, I saw the issue that you've had with the Democrats and that hotel issue. And
Yeah.
to say that they all for the people, but you don't want to pay the people, this doesn't look good.
Right.
And so, like I said, if this is what they want, you need to get that. Like I said, as much as some people on my side don't like unions, don't get me wrong, because you can't get too powerful. But at the same time, for me, I do want people to work. So if there's a way to make it where I can get this livable wage based on what you're trying to do, hey, I'm kind of all for it. I'm more libertarian on a lot of things. But at the same time, hey, that was a bad look.
Yeah.
I know you kind of want to go there with that issue with the difference
Well-
in the hotel. I know you do.
Well, what say you?
No, it was a bad look. You know, people are not making more, but gas is going up,
Yes.
food is going up, eggs is going
Everything.
up, everything is going up. But the price of your wages.
Absolutely. You know, I went to Randall's the other day, and you know how you go in and you like, I'm going in for one thing, and then I was like, I need this and I need this too, and I'm checking out, and it was $40.
Yeah.
One bag,
Yeah.
one bag, and I'm like, can I get a receipt? And I'm like, I'm going through the receipt.
I
I'm
had
like,
never
what?
checked, as a man, I had never checked my receipts as
I'm
much
doing
as I
that
do
now.
now to make sure. Wait a
It's
minute, I got 4
crazy.
bags and I just spent 100 and how much?
That's what I'm saying. I'm like,
No,
What-
man,
what I-
I'm a
well, let me see
couponer.
my
I
receipt.
check
Me
all
too.
these
I
things.
like coupons.
Oh, man, I got
me
every
my
app,
receipt.
whatever you can to save some money. I got it all.
you know, I can't do it. And then they want your phone number, and then they want you to download the app, and then I'm just like, look, can I just come in here?
Yeah, what's your
and
email address?
Yeah, I don't want
What
to
do you
do
mean?
that.
What you
I
need
get
to-
enough. I'm getting spammed. I'm getting calls. I'm getting
You
emails.
got no pain, no gain. You got to work at CVS. That's the best
Oh,
thing.
man.
I say somebody
You got a number with us? No, I don't
yes,
have
get
a
that
number
app.
with you.
I know. You know what I do?
CVS.
713-777-9311. Or I do 281.
Everyone wants your
804,
phone number.
What is it? 330-8004.
Right.
I do that one. I'll just enter those, and then
Yeah.
sometimes it'll do it. But I mean, you don't even save anything as it is
No, you
anymore.
don't.
And here's the problem that we have. And I don't know if anybody else is watching this train wreck happen in real time. If you haven't visited a local middle or high school lately, okay, and if you don't have, like, I don't have children in my life. Like, I don't have any kids. I don't have any nieces and nephews. I was running for office in Michigan, and they gave me, you run for office, they give you a tour. You're probably doing a lot of tours and different things.
Oh, yeah.
Because you run for state rep. So they give me these tours, and I get to the high school, and I'll just never forget sitting in my car afterwards, exhausted, thinking, where are those kids going to work? Because what I saw in that school, where does that go? And if they can't get a job, if they're not skilled and able to be plugged in somewhere, like, what does that equate to? I don't think we're really thinking about those things. And then I'll say this too, a lot of what I learned, because I think it's two things. Yes, I do think that we need to raise the standards and get, students where they know the minimum standards. But I think at the same time, I haven't used algebra 2.
No.
Pythagorean theorem.
Me
I haven't
either.
used the Pythagorean theorem.
No.
Trigonometry.
I haven't used-
Biology.
and it's not to say that we
No.
should take it out completely, but it is to say, is it efficient?
Do we need to know this?
Like,
Yes.
to do all of this if I'm not planning to go to college to be a doctor,
Let's see.
and I'm not planning to be a scientist
Or an engineer.
or an engineer.
They're actually using it in the police force. I got a buddy of mine. He works out there at Katy police station. He told me I used Pythagorean theorem when there's an accident. I got to make sure. I was like, so you actually use
I'll
it?
give you another one. So when I was a lieutenant working for the prison, before I could use chemical agents, there's like a formula that you have to do to see how much
You need to use.
chemical agent to
Right.
use based on the square footage of the. I didn't follow those rules. Bring me the gas.
Throw it in there.
Now
I'll explain it later. I'll explain
But
it.
that's A squared plus B
education
squared equals
Yeah,
C
you got to
squared.
be able to know all of that
The
stuff.
education system, which is busted, but it's not an education system no more.
It's not.
It's a business.
It is.
It's a business.
It is.
You're teaching to the test and not to the future of the kids.
Yeah.
It's about how many kids come to school each
Yes.
day. How
Daily
much.
adjusted daily attendance, and then
Yeah,
you look
right.
at it.
Exactly.
They're supposed to go to
Attendance.
school anyway. I mean, that's education.
Some
period.
educators don't care.
Some, my fourth
It's
grade
gotten
teacher.
out of that.
It's-
yeah.
My fourth, I mean, my
don't care.
fourth, my English 4 teacher, Mr. Player at Westbury High School. Those of y'all that are watching, there may be a couple people that see this. Mr. Player, I was his student his last year as a teacher, and I know that because on the first day of school, he let us know that this was his last year.
Wow.
He said, "I'm out."
And that he was out either way.
Yeah.
And we did puzzles. We did it was a big difference. It was like, wow, like we watching videos and we were really just,
But see, that's the difference between that because he knew he was out. You know,
Yeah.
you finna
He
leave
knew
a
he was
job.
out.
You can hang
You
loose.
you
right?
get
Yeah.
zero
Yeah.
F's.
Yeah.
But
Right.
the real educators, like I said, my English 4 teacher, Miss
Yeah.
Joseph, she challenged me. I was
Yeah.
I'm magnet courses and all of that, but she challenged me. I gave one of the best presentation at the end of the year, so I can grade because you had to pass English 4, you didn't graduate. So
Yeah.
I kicked some ass. But the educators now, don't get me wrong, some of them are younger, some of them are just getting in because they couldn't get it. I mean, those who can't.
yeah.
That
Right,
whole
yeah,
adage.
exactly. Now you
Because
don't
I
have
was a substitute
license
teacher. I did
nowadays.
my tour of duty. I was a substitute teacher for a couple of years.
Tour of duty.
I stopped the school shooting once. So
Really? Oh.
yes, that's interesting too. But same thing. I mean, when I was in there, I could see what you had to love for the kids.
Yes.
Oh, they see they all learning, but then the other half of these parents ain't shit, these kids ain't shit. Who are raising these people?
Yeah,
Yes.
Because
that
it's
part,
like, because
that
I called
part.
one parent one time because her kid was bad. Don't get me wrong. I got him to turn around. I feel like Mr. Clark and lean on me. And I called her to tell her,
watched
oh
that
man, he's
movie
doing
just today.
great.
Mr. Clark.
As soon as she picked up, what he do now? I said, damn, you ain't got a chance, bro. Like, she don't even, like, your boy's doing good. He made B's on these actual tests. I'm like, oh, all right. Then she just hung up. I'm like,
Yeah,
damn,
yeah,
dude.
yeah.
Like,
where it goes.
that sucks.
That's where it goes.
But that's all that. But at the same time, just it is the educator. Don't get me wrong. Some of them are just there for a check. Like I said, those who can't, they will teach.
Yeah.
They are.
So you got to weed those out, or those who actually say, you know what, let me go into this, and they do get that love. Because I could have did. Don't get me wrong. I had 2 points below my GPA. Like when I graduated college, I didn't care
I had a
anymore. I was like,
1.7. I had a 1.7.
I had a
now, see
2.
what's cool?
Yeah.
I say that now because it's like, oh, yeah, I was expelled. I was blah, blah. But at the time, oh, man, that shit was embarrassing.
I graduated with a 2.2, and to
my
be a teacher in the
goodness.
state of Texas, you got to have a 2.5. Because I was like I said, a substitute for a couple years. I said, let me finally get into it. My wife a teacher now. They're like, oh, but you need to go back to community college, raise up your GPA. I said, ma'am, is there a shortage of teachers? Like, is this a high? Like, you
just
need
throw me in, Coach.
what you
need
can
me.
get right
You
now. And I actually
need me.
I wanted to teach special ed because I love my special ed kids.
And because they pay more. Quit lying.
No, I didn't even
And then the
I just
education-
love my kids.
Right,
I love
yeah.
my sped
The
kids.
education system,
And I'm
man,
like, lady,
it's just
they're
totally
not
screwed.
knocking down the door.
Right.
No,
I mean,
they're
with
not.
especially here in Houston, the education system is screwed because of conservatorship.
Yes.
I mean, you got Mike Miles just doing anything he wants
Absolutely.
to do. And now teachers don't even have to be certified
Right.
to become a teacher.
be able
So
to be
that's
a
what
teacher.
you were saying about the quality
I'm
of
trying to be
education.
certified.
And what's really interesting, Dr. Joseph, about your race, and it's going to be you, it's going to be Danny Norris, it's probably going to be a couple of other people that are running in that race. I think y'all have a very great opportunity. And if I could give y'all any piece of advice, is this. HB, House Bill 1842, which was sponsored and spearheaded by Harold
Yes, it
Dutton.
was.
Here's the thing. Somebody has to make that argument, and they have to connect the disarray
Yeah.
and the mismanagement and the fact that we no longer have a democratic process when it comes to our school district, which
Right.
is one of the highest tax collecting
yes,
entities.
it is.
Right? When you look at your tax bill, it's HISD, and right now we have taxation without representation
Representation.
because of the man that you are running to replace. And I hope that y'all push that, and I hope that y'all can make that argument and that y'all could take him into a runoff. One of y'all has to take him into a runoff, and you have to do it like with surgical precision.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna tell you this. Harold Dutton may have, sponsored that bill, and he may have made a lot of other decisions that I wouldn't have agreed with, but you have to give him this.
Yeah.
He is a politician.
Very much
and
so.
he's a
Very much
speaker,
so.
and you get that man that mic, and he's like just like it's butter.
Well, he's been doing it for 40 years.
He's been doing it for 40
So
years.
better be good at the job, huh?
Yeah.
He's
a
been doing it for
professional.
Got it down
Yeah.
to a science.
He's got it down to
40
science.
years, yeah. But now it's time for the people to pull the veil from over their eyes and
Absolutely.
wake up and see what's really going on. Because
Absolutely.
when what we don't know of who you're receiving money from.
There you go.
Follow the money. Then you follow the real story of what's going on.
Let me ask you this,
in
Dr.
that
J.
story.
Let me ask you this, Dr. Joseph. So you're very well known. You have your own nonprofit ventures that you do. You've worked for the senator. You're gonna have to toe that line because there are a lot of people who would otherwise support you that are supporting him. So what is the conversation that you have with the person who is a Harold Dutton loyalist?
And there's many of them because he's been in that for a long, long
Yeah.
time. And how do you sway those folks? How do you sway? And you don't, and I say sway,
Yeah.
like you said earlier, it ain't what you're going to do, it's what you've been doing.
Yeah.
And those same people who have been seeing what he's been doing, have seen what I've been doing for the longest, and they see the difference when it comes to now. We're talking about more youth and agility, you know, and new ideas and bringing other ideas to the table instead of the status quo things, and working with different groups now. It's more people at the table now.
Yeah.
You know, there's many more people at the table.
Are you going to be able to get that teachers union endorsement?
Definitely. We're going to get the teachers endorsement because, you know, the teachers are looking for something to fight, somebody who's going to fight for them. Not somebody who's going to say they're going to fight for them, but somebody who actually got skin in the game. You know, like I said, I got a 15-year-old daughter, and every instance something changes at her school. You know, she's a straight-A student at Lamar High School. And just the other day, she had volleyball practice in the evening. So we got a text message this morning. We need to be at practice at 6:30 in the morning. You know, so I had to change my mindset and not stick on the same old mindset. We are going to practice at 3:30. Things are shifting and changing, and you need a leader who can shift and change with the times and the flexibility of what's going on today. You know, not what went on yesterday, and still dealing with those same groups of people that you've been dealing with, because on the other side of the aisle, you know, and we don't see what the hand is doing behind the scenes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That is true.
Last question for you. You just exited the CD18 race, the historic 18th Congressional District, because they drew you out of it.
Yeah.
You don't have to answer, but I would love it if you did.
Okay.
Top two candidates. Who are your top two candidates from that pool you just left?
Wow. Now, it was 29 people in that race.
I thought it was,
thought it was
30,
31.
Well, it could have been.
Just
It could have
saying.
been. You know, but the redistricting really done an injustice not only for the people in the race, but the whole community, and the legacy of Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee. But I'm gonna say this: there's a lot of good people in the race, and I know quite a few of them. You know, I've worked, you know, with quite a few of them as well. I even work on the Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee campaign. But the two, well,
I wasn't gonna give you one. I gave you two.
it's gonna be
You
tough.
kinda-
It's gonna be tough. Well, I'm gonna say I'm gonna give it. Well, there's four of them that I really like.
Oh, now see,
if you really
you
want
don't
to
wanna
think about it,
follow-
you
you don't
don't
wanna
want to
answer.
race
No,
he
cannot say.
Think about it. It's
I'm gonna give you
six
the
of
top
them.
two.
That,
That's right. But the
Yeah.
top two right now, it would be Amanda Edwards and Christian Menifee.
okay, man. That's what a lot of people are saying. A lot of people say Amanda and Christian, and a lot of people say Jolanda and Christian. With the poll that Christian put out, which I thought was probably the most accurate of them. Did everybody see the polls? Everybody put out polls. Everybody
I
said they
seen
won.
everybody's poll.
Everybody, they was in
Everybody
the
said they
lead.
won. Everybody said they're in the lead.
Next
Now,
week, I'm gonna have a poll.
you're going to have a poll. There you go. So Amanda says she was in the lead with 17%, with 34% undecided. Amanda, you could have kept that shit, okay?
Yeah.
If you're in the lead with 17%, that's one that you, if you're a consultant, you say, don't share that.
Can't
Save it.
Don't
Hold
share it.
Hold it, share it. So then you have Jolanda, whose poll by Blueprint, okay, Blueprint polling, that says that she's in the lead, followed by Montiel,
Yeah.
and then Christian.
Yeah.
Jolanda. Come on. Right? And then Christian put out a poll that said that he and Jolanda are neck and neck.
Right.
And I said, that's
I can see that.
the poll that you put out. That's what you wanted. 6 weeks out from an election, you want to put out a poll that tells your supporters, pull out that debit card, baby,
Yeah,
because it's close. I'm fighting, but it's close. I need
But
you.
I think that that poll was against what's her name, Amanda Edwards, to kind of her,
Ooh,
yeah, to
that's
kind of
brilliant.
push
That's
her
brilliant.
out, yeah, right,
to push her further out.
That
because she,
wasn't.
yeah.
I don't think. Look, I don't believe in none of those polls,
yeah.
but that was a political strategy
that was.
to do it that way,
And they all
then
put 'em-
showing that they were tied.
That's crazy. And they all put him out within like 3 days of each
Yeah.
other.
I
It's
know,
like,
right?
Supposed to.
come on.
Well, let's take the real brass down. Let's start the real damn question. So y'all keep saying Christian Menifee, Jolanda Jones, Amanda Edwards. That's cool. And they even talked to Christian Manager, campaign manager, about this. How do y'all feel that y'all gonna have this special election. But here come King Al Green said,
Oh,
screw
man.
that. I'm coming in the midterm, so y'all can keep that seat for a couple of days.
Get my blood pressure pill.
Yes,
All right.
exactly.
I asked him straight up, like, so what do you think about that?
Yeah.
King Al coming in, basically saying, y'all ain't shit. I'm going to run this in the midterm and win down the line.
Yeah.
And he had no answer. He just, he's just focusing on his special.
Well,
No,
he
you
actually-
got to worry about that.
I saw him the other day on the Houston Defender.
Yeah.
This is being very artfully done. Here's another politician. So
Al.
first he puts
Oh,
out,
yeah.
I will not be running in the special.
Special.
But if I did run, I would run
In
for the
CD
18th
18th.
next year.
Right,
And then he
right.
just put out a thing where he had like Katie Porter in California, the congresswoman with the little dry erase board. He
Yeah.
was like, here is my house. And here's where the other. So it's like, okay, we see you teeing it up. I think it is horrible because
That's gonna be hard.
we just lost 2 members of Congress, right?
Yes.
Like how has that ever happened before? And like, have we ever like lost a member of Congress and then lost another member of Congress and then went months without any representation
800,000
and then had redistricting where they
Yeah.
chopped it up, and so it's like hypothetically, Christian, Amanda, Jolanda, or Isaiah.
Isaiah.
Isaiah
Yeah.
Martin.
Isaiah, I think, and I'll say this, I think when we see people like Isaiah, or like tomorrow I'm hosting a fundraiser for Jeff Boney, who's running for mayor in Missouri City. When these people step out, we have to support them. We have to, and I say Isaiah Martin is going to be one of our leaders, and we need to get in early and make sure that we wrap our arms around him before other people get to him, before the donors get to him, before whatever. We have to get in and like really build those relationships and strengthen them. And I just say I think it's horrible because whoever's going to win, and then they're going to have to face him.
Yeah, face out.
It's going to
Yeah.
be a very, think about this. This person is going to run in 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Then they're in November. Then they're gonna go through the
runoff.
holidays, and they're gonna have a runoff in January.
Yep.
They're gonna win that runoff, and they're gonna have to turn right back around
around
because
in
they have a
March.
March
Primary.
primary.
March primary.
And here's what I want people to think, and y'all mark my words. There are some people when those lines were redrawn, they said, "You know what? I wasn't thinking about it before."
Yes.
But there's going to
Definitely.
be a very vulnerable
Oh, yes.
person
Oh, yeah.
limping
Yes.
their way
Stop it.
the general.
like
Stop
a
it.
baby gazelle,
Oh,
okay, to the runoff. Oh, it would be great to just sit back, raise your money, and run in March. There will be names that we have
There will
not
be.
heard of
Yeah.
That's gonna
Yeah.
that are
jump in.
sitting back.
And I can name
watching
a few
them.
who
Yeah.
I can figure out. who's
You
gonna
watching
run.
your opponent take
Against
all the think about against Al,
yes.
Yes,
whoever wins,
wins.
because they're gonna be exhausted.
Because that seat moves down to Missouri City.
It moves
Yeah.
down to Missouri City.
And
So
think
It
just
moves
think
about-
down to Missouri
Yeah.
City.
Yeah.
It moves down to Sugar Land. It
Yeah.
moves down to
And they're
Is
vulnerable.
that Pearland as well?
Yeah.
Not Pearland.
Well,
Not
well, not
Pearland.
that far. Not
Oh,
it
that
does go to
far.
Pearland.
Sunnyside, South
Yeah.
Union, South Park.
So you have
Still got the north side.
all of that.
So
right?
you're gonna have a whole nother host
but I
of
thought the
candidates.
north side was going to be these other districts.
TX29.
This one,
So
right.
that goes to
Acres Home
29 for
and,
March.
And
Yeah.
the Fifth Ward
Yes.
going to be the same one?
Well, I'm not
Fifth Ward
sure.
is still based in the 18, but just
just
barely.
a little bit. They
off.
just
Just a
it's
little
just more
bit.
south now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
It
more
just leans
south
more
now.
south.
Okay, I thought
Yeah.
it was all.
And now with that race though, because come the general, now we got new redistrict. We got a whole new crop of voters
Right.
coming in from Fort Bend County,
don't
which
know.
are
Yeah.
Republican voters. So now that Democrats
That's it.
finally got a
That's
challenge.
it.
Al Green has to finally campaign because he hasn't done that in 20, 40 years because he got to go against these Republican white voters
And I would
in
argue.
Fort Bend County.
I would argue.
So whoever's going to be the Republican candidate to come out of that
Mm-hmm.
primary, they got a good shot because now you have a whole new crop. And nobody like Al Green because Al Green talk a lot of shit to their favorite person,
Well, but a lot of people
Trump.
like, a
So
lot of
now,
people
hey,
like,
Yeah.
a lot of people.
This what
and-
happens.
And you're right. You're going to have a very content because a lot of people love him for that same reason.
Yeah,
a lot of
they
people when
do.
he raised up that cane, they were like,
Yeah,
yeah, right.
yeah.
So it's like you're gonna have both of those things happening at the same time. I would also argue that when you look at the way redistricting happened, like the model that they used, right, that shows that all those districts are red. If we were to go back a few cycles before, we really haven't had a real election, like a presidential election. If you really think about it,
Right,
because
right.
2024, like what's her name was punted the ball with 170 days left, right? 4 years before that, we're in the middle of a pandemic where people are wearing masks in some kind of way, like Biden ran away with it. I looked up, I was like, what? Everybody dropped out? Right? 4 years before that, you had Trump v. Clinton. And I would argue that that was the year, that was the election that the population said, we tired, we don't want to keep doing what we've been doing. The Republicans overwhelmingly did not want Trump, but he made it through. I honestly don't think that Hillary, without thumb on the scale, would have been the nominee. I think the Democratic version of Trump is Bernie. If you think about it.
Oh, we felt the burn.
If you think about it, he's the, right? And that's what you put. But we put up sit and be fit, okay? You know, Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
And we lost. And then 4 years before that, you had 2012, which was probably the last real, like, presidential year
Election.
that they actually had.
Right.
So in 2026, it's going to be tough. In 2028, y'all, I don't know. I'm looking at
tough.
places elsewhere. I mean, this may be it.
Yeah, and then we got to be careful on this special election too, because the Republican candidate could.
She could. Miss
Yeah.
Carmen could.
Montiel?
That lady.
Montiel,
Miss Carmen.
Because
she's going to have Republican
the
support.
lane is cleared. Now, here's what's crazy. What if on election night, it's a runoff,
Of a Democrat and Republican.
but it's a Democrat and her?
Yes.
And now all eyes are on the
Yes.
18th district of Texas. And somebody is telling Trump in his morning briefing,
Yes.
you ain't going to believe this shit.
Yeah, right. We got another one.
We got another
We-
one. So he's about to endorse
Yeah.
Montiel, and they finna get her some new pantsuits
So
from
we have to
Nordstrom,
be careful.
and they finna take this race.
Because in
if that happens. Now, granted, once
Right.
again, come the midterm,
Yes,
that's what's going to happen in the 18th, because he's going to see his good old friend Al. Oh, you running out? Who's the Republican
my
challenger?
goodness.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
that's right.
That's our person.
I
That's
just
it.
hope.
That's
I just
it.
hope. Can I get the one shot? Can I get the one shot? They just did an article in the Chronicle, and they acknowledged the big political donors. Can one of your donors reach out to Congressman Al Green and offer him, I don't know, 10 mil, 15 mil, something, set him up real nice.
Real nice.
Real nice. Because we're not going to be able to excite the down ballot races
Yeah.
if people like him and people like Harold Dutton and people like, I'm not going to say no more names because I already said a lot today, but people like them keep running, it's really hard to excite the base. Closing words, y'all. Thank y'all for being here so much. This was so cool. Hopefully some of y'all
Yeah.
come back again. Dr. Joseph, final words.
I'll definitely be back again. Thank you for having me on the show. You know, we want to continue working for our communities and working, and having our voices heard. And you give us that avenue to have our voices heard. So
Absolutely.
appreciate you very much.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. And we're going to do Christians inspire me. I want to do like a Cribs thing. I want to take my little microphone.
Yeah.
And I got a selfie stick there. And I want to go, show me your yearbook.
Okay.
Show me your anniversary pictures. We're going to really get to know these candidates.
Right.
Marcus,
There you
what
go.
say you?
Oh, like I said, I once you have other friends, I say, man, I can't wait to get on this show. I've been checking you out, seeing
it's
how
the
you
place
done.
to
You,
be.
you speak on the community. You speak against things that should be spoken
Yeah,
for. So
yeah.
that's all I'm all about.
Absolutely.
But like I said, I will be here as long as you have me going.
Absolutely.
And like I said, I guess I give a shout out to my organization, the Black Conservative Federation, bcfaction.com. We're the premier Black conservative group in the country.
Okay.
And like I said, I had my state director, John Branch, here just the other day.
Oh, I didn't know he didn't tell me that. He didn't tell me he was a
That
state
week y'all
director.
wasn't talking about that.
Okay,
But I'm going to shout it out because I'm the regional director now of 11 states, covering Louisiana, Texas, New Mexico, Alaska, Hawaii. We don't got to worry about California, but still. But my friend runs the Republican Party of California, ironically, black woman, Corn Rankin.
Isn't that like what they call it, an oxymoron? The Republican
I
Party
know.
of California?
I know, right?
Wow.
Democrat Party of anything in the South, but we going to talk about
it's
that.
true. It's true. Granted, I give you that. It's like being the Democratic Party chair of Texas. So, yeah.
Thank you so much, Darrell. I'm glad he brings positive energy for me because it's civic and political, and I'm all in for that because all votes matter. And I like Darrell's, the way he processes things, the podcast, the Houston Justice Organization, and bringing me on as a community organizer that I part-time do with that. So I just love the energy, and I appreciate you for allowing me to spend a few minutes talking politics.
Absolutely. Thank you. And
Thank you.
And thank y'all that watch the rewatch, that send me the messages. Listen, your voice matters, whether you are an elected official, whether you're a voter, whether you can't vote because of this reason or that reason, you still live in this country, and your influence, your voice
Absolutely.
can influence the decisions that are made here. And with that, we're out.
Peace.
Peace.